Hello, welcome back to week 2 of the Nature Journals. So today we're going to have a look at what we've seen over the last week and talk about some of my observations. Firstly, we're just going to recap what is a nature journal. There'll be a couple of slides in a minute that will show you a picture of my first entry into the nature journal, highlighting some different points. So our nature journal, all it needs to be is just a little book, piece of paper, folder, full of things that you've observed out in the garden or out on your walks. So it might be that you notice there's ants and they're all walking in a line somewhere. It might be, in my case, I noticed a ladybird on a leaf. So I started to make me ask questions about it. And the idea is we just record it, the time, the date, the weather, and all those kinds of bits of information. And then we just ask questions about it. So for example, do ladybirds hibernate? I don't know, it's the first one I'd seen. So I didn't know if ladybirds hibernated. But then what I've not done, I don't want to jump onto the internet and research it. I just want to spend a couple of weeks thinking about it. And if we don't know the answer in those couple of weeks, then I'll go back and look it up. So here's the first slide and my first page of my nature journal.
So this is the first page of my nature journal. What I've done is I've dated it and then I've wrote down the conditions, so what the weather was like, the time of day, anything that I think might be important. So mine was done on the 22nd of March 2020. I spotted a ladybird at 1 p.m. and it was a sunny day. Okay, and then I've done a little picture of it, pointed out some notes. So it was in the garden in a bush. The leaves were about to burst, so I knew it was in spring. I've wrote a little bit of a few things I know about ladybirds. So I know that they eat aphids and other insects. Okay. Then what I've done is done the bit that's I think is most interesting is I've done some questions about the ladybird that I don't know. So what species of ladybird was it? Has it just come out of hibernation? Do ladybirds even hibernate? What's the life cycle of a ladybird? All these kinds of questions that I don't know the answer to, I'm just curious about, and that's all we've got to do in our nature journals is jot down things that we've seen, draw a picture, and ask any questions that make us wonder.
Right, it's time to see what I've got in my nature journal from the previous week. So here we go.
So on the second page of my journal, I've got some observations from the 24th of March, where I saw a ladybird and a spider on the hose pipe, very close to each other. It got me curious. What I was wondering was, are they talking to each other? So are they communicating? Will they have a fight, ladybird versus a spider? Who would win? Don't know. Are they just out in the sun? Why are they on the hose pipe and not a leaf? So my theory on that was that the hose pipe is probably warmed up more than the leaf and they're just enjoying the warmth from it. Okay, so that was just my second page of observations, just some questions and something that I saw that was reasonably interesting. So we're going to move on to the second page now. My last observation was I was just watching the daffs in the garden and I was staring at them a bit on the 25th of March, and it just made me wonder, why do daffs come out so early in the year? Most of the flowering plants come out in summer, but the daffs are out in February, so I just wondered why that was. And what I came up with was that my theory, so I haven't googled this, I don't know if this is right, this is just my thought, was that by coming out earlier in the year they're not competing with all the other flowers to get pollinated. They're the only source available to insects for nectar and such like, therefore much easier for them to get pollinated. Don't know if that's right, it was just what I was thinking might be the reason for it. Okay, and then the other thing I just thought was our different coloured daffs are different species. Alright, so those are my 3 pages of my nature journal for this week done.
Okay, so now we've finished my nature journal. We'd like you to share in the comments below some of the things that you've observed through this week. If you haven't started yet, that's fine. Just any time through the next week you want to, just write it down and just share it with us whenever you get a chance. Okay, so this week's task, as well as using our nature journals whilst we're out and about, we thought it'd be a good idea to make some animal fact sheets. I'm doing it based on animals I've seen in the garden, which I think you guys could do too. If you're not looking to have a garden or you haven't got that much wildlife in there, you can just pick your favourite animal and make your fact sheet. So on your animal fact sheets, here's some ideas that you could have and what you include on it, okay? So first thing, the name of the animal, a picture of the animal, the lifespan, the habitat, so where does it live, what does it eat, the size, the weight, and any other interesting facts you can find out about that animal. Okay, so you've got loads of scope there. You can add anything you want, really. They're just some ideas that you can make on your animal fact sheet. You can design it however you want, it can look how you want, any size. We just want to see you make some animal fact sheets. Okay, so we're quite lucky in that we have got some wildlife camera traps that we have when we use them with work at some of the forest schools that we go to. We've got them here at home, so we've set them up in the garden, and we've been very lucky that we've been having a few visitors, particularly at night. So coming up is going to be some clips of those visitors in our garden over the last few nights. How lucky are we? That's pretty cool that we get the badgers and foxes at night. We're going to leave the cameras up over the next couple of weeks. We'll keep recording, keep the footage going, and then we'll share it with you in a couple of weeks in another nature journal, probably in week 4, okay? So we're really lucky that we get that and we get a chance to see it. We'll keep sharing it. So that's why I did my fact sheet on the badgers, okay? Because we've seen them in the night. Thank you for joining us for another Nature Journal week. If you want to interact with us on the social media over the next few weeks, that's absolutely fine. We will be responding to all the posts. So if any feedback, any cool things that you've seen and spotted and want to share, or the children want to share with us, that's absolutely great, and we will respond. So thank you, and have another great week.